Things to know before visiting Cuba. 1. Double-check your insurance. You are required to have medical insurance to visit Cuba and will need to bring digital or printed proof of your policy. Random checks are made at the airport. If you arrive without insurance, you'll be asked to buy a Cuban policy at the airport for $30. 2. Every visitor needs a tourist card. To enter Cuba, all visitors need to present a completed tourist card. It's usually available through your airline and included in the price of your ticket. 3. Cash and currency. The official currency of Cuba is the Cuban peso, CUP, but foreign currencies are also widely accepted, especially by private businesses who need hard cash to buy non-rationed goods in MLC shops. When buying something from a private business, be it a restaurant, casa particular, private accommodation, or taxi service, it's usually best to pay in a foreign currency. Always ask up front what currencies they accept and what exchange rate they use for their published peso prices. Only some credit cards will work. Credit cards are increasingly popular in Cuba, and in many state-run businesses are the preferred method of payment. Despite promises made in the Obama era, credit cards linked to U.S. banks are not accepted. Private businesses almost never have credit card machines, meaning your only option is cash. 5. Pack your favorite casual clothes. Dress in Cuba as casual, so you can leave your high heels and tux behind. The only real dress code is in cinemas, theaters, and nightclubs, where male patrons are required to wear long trousers and shirts with sleeves or half sleeves. 6. Understand the local art of queuing. Cubans have to endure a lot of long waits and boring queues, so they've invented a way of doing it that doesn't involve standing in line. In a Cuban queue, you simply roll up at the bakery, clinic, visa office and yell out to the assembled masses, "¿Quién es último?" Who's last? 7. Ask questions more than once. Thanks to heavy bureaucracy, answers to simple requests aren't always straightforward or even correct. Probe politely and ask at least 5 different people before you make important decisions. 8. Cuba is considered a safe place to travel. Cuba is one of the safest countries in the Americas in terms of violent crime. Pickpocketing is more common but not rampant, and is mostly avoidable if you follow a few basic precautions. Wear a money belt, use safe boxes in hotel rooms, and don't flash your cash in public. 9. Bring your own medicines. On one level, Cuba has a good health system. On the other, it is perennially short of pharmaceuticals. Bring all the prescription medications you think you'll need, as well others you might like ibuprofen or paracetamol. 10. Don't drink the water. The water won't kill you, but it might give you a little queasiness or an upset stomach. Fortunately, bottled water is abundant and cheap. An even better idea is to bring your own filter bottle or water purification tablets. Things to do in Cuba. 1. Playa Las Tumbas. Granted, there are more convenient, better-equipped beaches in Cuba, and many are beautiful, but none give you the feeling of having a slice of paradise to yourself like Las Tumbas. The drive might be long, but it's an excellent way to see parts of the island most people don't. So taking an overnight here is as much about the journey as the destination. 2. Hemingway Museum. Is it touristy? Of course it is, but it's also among the best preserved grand homes in the country, and there's usually a Cuban band playing near the entrance with a full rum bar, of course. You'll also hear clever anecdotes about Hemingway's time here, like when he used to spy on Ava Gardner skinny dipping in the pool. 3. Topes de Calantes National Park. Most American tourists don't make it this far out into natural Cuba, and it's the sort of tropical mountain scenery that is definitively Caribbean. It's the perfect escape from the towns and cities, where you can hike a couple of miles and jump into a pristine pool under a waterfall. 4. Drink a mojito somewhere in Havana. It's just one of those bucket list eating, drinking experiences everyone has, like getting a cheesesteak in Philly or wings in Buffalo. And almost anywhere you go in Havana will make one better than any American cocktail bar because they use real sugar and not syrup. 5. Stroll the streets of Trinidad. It might be the most photographed place in Cuba outside Havana, but that hasn't ruined the small-town feel one bit. The people here are still unbelievably friendly, and while now they might ask you for a couple of dollars if you want to take their picture, they'll still happily chat with you about anything you want to know about the town. 6. Disco Ayala. This full-on dance club is 100 feet underground, where you'll dance among stalactites, stalagmites, and giant video screens. It's about a 10-minute walk up the hill from Trinidad, and admission includes a free drink. Even if you're not big into dancing or nightlife, it's such a uniquely surreal experience to go clubbing in a cave. Disco Ayala is worth a visit. And who knows, perhaps you'll meet some fun-loving locals to give you an even better story. 7. Tour Havana in a classic car. A trip through Habana Vieja and along the water in a bright pink convertible Cadillac or another of Cuba's trademark classic cars. You won't get much in the way of information over the roar of the engine and the wind in your hair. But education isn't really the point. It's another ultra-touristy thing to do that's absolutely worth the cliché. The photographs you'll get from riding in a bright car through the classic architecture are uniquely Cuban. And when else will you get to ride around in a '57 Chevy with the top down on a sunny day? 8. Hit a live cabaret show. A complete time warp back to the nightclub variety shows of the 1950s, complete with elaborate carnival costumes, over-the-top singers, and full production dance numbers. They say life on this island hasn't changed much since the mid-20th century, and these old-style shows are the best example. The biggest show is at the famous Tropicana Club. Cabaret Le Parisien at the Hotel National is a little more Moulin Rouge, but still a sight you'll never see in America. 9. El Morro. The cannon firing ceremony is a nightly historical reenactment where soldiers in 18th century military garb parade to the top of the castle walls, then fire shots into the Caribbean as notice to close the city's walls to protect against pirates and invading armies. It happens every night at 9 p.m. It's the odd place in Havana where you'll find locals and tourists mingling, and the view from up in El Morro is a grand panorama of the new and old cities. During the summer, head up a little early and catch the sunset right before the show. 10. Discover the Vinales Valley. Extend your Vinales Valley adventure by embarking on a horseback riding tour through the tobacco fields and caves of the valley. Engage with local farmers to learn about traditional tobacco farming techniques and enjoy a farm-to-table meal prepared with fresh ingredients sourced from the valley. Wrap up your day with a sunset hike to the Valle de Silencio for breathtaking views of the surrounding mogotes. Overall, Cuba is a vibrant Caribbean gem known for its rich culture, vintage charm, and stunning natural beauty. From the colorful streets of Havana, with its classic cars and lively music, to the pristine beaches of Varadero, it offers a unique blend of history and tropical paradise. With its warm hospitality and rhythmic energy, Cuba is a destination that enchants every traveler. Also, check the description below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe.